Sales have been very slow. I think for a lot of people, I am included in that. Despite all of the listing that I've been doing, sales have been a little bit anemic. This is what sold since the last video. These are the highlights, not every single thing. These are the instructional or educational or interesting ones. We'll start with Poshmark. I cross-list everything that I list clothing-wise from eBay to Poshmark. It's very easy to do, and it helps insure you against slowdowns when eBay grinds to a halt, as it does a couple times a week. Typically, Poshmark can help pick up the slack. It's very easy. It's worth the minimal time investment. This was an Air Jordan tank top, graphic tank top, sold for $17 plus shipping. It's about $6.5, $7 that the customer pays on top of this price, the sale price of $17. Here's a Canali dress shirt that I bought and then had a little bit of buyer's remorse right afterwards, because I remembered after having the high of the find that Canali dress shirts have typically sat in my store for a while before selling. It was listed at $25, took an offer on $20 to make a quick flip out of it. Maybe if I had waited on $25, someone would have grabbed it. This is 1/3 of a bundle. It is a brand that I've been finding a lot lately for some reason, and kind of have been testing the waters, and the waters are warm. Barbell Apparel, very minimalist, kind of masculine Lululemon workout gear. They make these activewear t-shirts, they make active shorts, and they make polo shirts. That's what I've found from them so far, and pretty popular, getting a lot of offers, a lot of interest, and a lot of takers. This is one. Here's two that sold. And then this sold in the same bundle. This is not Barbell Apparel, this is Tory Richard. It's this abstract geometric pattern shirt. You could argue that it's a Hawaiian shirt. This is a new keyword that I learned in the process of listing it, cotton lawn. It's a kind of cotton fabric that feels a little bit like silk. You know, you find a shirt, you think it's a silk shirt, it's a cotton shirt, that is cotton lawn. It's a very fine knit, thin cotton fabric. This sold for $15 despite having a big unforeseen hole in the crotch. Big shotgun blast hole right in the ball area there. And sold for $15. These Barbell Apparel, short barbell, he says, because he's British. Barbell shorts sold for $30. Here's a Peter Millar Summer Comfort basic polo shirt, sold for $18 plus shipping. Peter Millar Summer Comfort, I know I've said this a million times, I always pick it up and it always sells. Here's a 511 tactical polo, just basic polo. And I tried to find a serial number for this that would correspond with a specific name for this kind of polo shirt, which is something you can do with more performance-oriented clothing. And I'm going to be releasing a video about how to do that, but couldn't find the right one on this one. Here's this, I think, knockoff Motorhead t-shirt, sold for $13. Everything louder. A lot of 4 basic Travis Matthew polo shirts, golf shirts, sold for $55. An Untuck It t-shirt. Untuck It's been doing great for me. It was really kind of in a slump for a while, and I've been finding some formal stuff, some formal shirts, but more t-shirts, Henleys, and I found a 100% linen that sold right away, and it's been selling quite well. $19. Over to eBay, and we're gonna go in reverse order, so we're starting with more recent first and going backwards. This just sold for $22, Duluth Trading Co. Basic chambray shirt. Chambray is a good keyword to know, it comes up on the channel a lot. It's the fabric that looks like denim, but it isn't denim. This sold within minutes of listing it. I got it for $4. It's a pack of exercise themed playing cards where you pick a card at random, I think, and it has this really brutal workout on it. Sold for $15. I saw actives, one active for brand new at $16.5, so I listed it at $15. Someone grabbed it like that. A lot of 2 Untuck It Henleys sold for $40. Shorts have been doing really well for me on eBay. Patagonia long stand-up shorts, and this is an example of when I did actually look up a style code. Let me see if I can find it here. That's not it. There it is. I looked up Patagonia 57213, and it brought up the Patagonia site. and it had those keywords in it, the long stand-up short. I don't know if that was responsible for the quick sale or what, but it sold for 25. And it had a lot of stains on it, or they had stains on them. Still sold for 25 bucks. I would like this to be the big banner tip of the video. Travis Matthew golf shorts have been selling insanely fast for me. I've listed 3 pairs of them, 2 pairs sold within 24 hours of listing, and the only one that I have left has a bunch of offers being sent, lowball offers, and a bunch of eyeballs on it. So I think these walk/golf shorts, I don't know what the proper name for them is, if there is one, are really hot right now, sold for 25 bucks. And then these are the same kind of short. Someone sent me an offer, I countered at 22 and a half, and they picked them right up. I was pleased with this after a very long waiting period. It's a suit jacket from a fairly upscale suit maker, hand-tailed in Italy. I got this for $1 when I still lived in LA. I had it priced up a little bit too high. Someone offered 30, so I gave it to him. This is another big bolo. Prana men's Brion shorts are crazy, crazy breakneck high sell-through right now. And that's another example of, I looked up the style code and it told me it was a Brion short. Sold almost immediately. I think it sold the same day as I listed it. That might have been the number that I looked up. Prana, I wish was more consistent. I wish I could say just pick it up when you find it, because I find it all the time. But big, big variance in terms of sell-through. Pair of True Religion denim overalls, women's, small. It's the Jamie. It said that on the tag. And these had a stain somewhere close to the butt area. Yeah, right there. Still sold very quickly for 40. This was an experiment. I have seen these again and again and again. Always passed on them because I assumed that they were trash. These Union Bay, UB Tech kind of performance cargo type pants. They're not really cargo pants. But I looked up the numbers in the Goodwill and they were really promising, so I rolled the dice and it paid off. $23.50. You're not going to sell these for a lot of money, but when I find these, I'm going to pick them up again. Here's a t-shirt I got for a couple bucks. It's Sex Wax brand, which is like a surfing thing t-shirt. 20 bucks, 50 cents, and I got a thank you note from the buyer thanking me for giving them such a good deal. So maybe I could have gotten more for this, but flipped almost right away. Really happy with this one. Got this for $1 and it sold for 36. It's a rare Magic the Gathering book. I continue to accumulate these genre series tie-in books. Magic the Gathering, D&D, Warhammer. Not all of them are worth money because they just print so many of them. But some of them are quite rare and are collector's items, as this one was. In a previous video, I talked about how during the summer months, 100% linen pieces, even from mediocre brands, are going to be more and more desirable. This is an example of that. Brooks Brothers, I would not have touched this shirt for the standard price that I pay of like between $6 and $8. I don't remember what this one cost. But I got this 100% linen and it sold almost immediately for 20 bucks, so I doubled my money. Totally happy with that, and I'm going to continue to do that when I can. This shirt, I don't remember if I included in the manifesto because I confused it with Iceberg in my head, which is a designer Italian brand. Icebreaker is a performance merino wool brand that does outdoor clothing. It's based in New Zealand. Every single time I find Icebreaker, it sells with almost zero waiting. This was no exception. I think it sold within 24 hours. And it was covered in flaws. It was like really disgusting. I was in a Goodwill in the 25th hour. They were in the process of shutting down, and I just blasted through and picked up a few shirts and just did the most cursory, rapid screening that I could. And I missed all of these bleach stains. There were holes in it. There were armpit stains. Still flipped for 20 bucks. Like that right away. People buy icebreaker as they buy certain Patagonia pieces, as they buy Smart Wool and Ibex, even if it has flaws, because it's functional, because they're using it for purpose. They're not just wearing it every day. They're going hiking, they're doing outdoor stuff. They just want the base layer. They want the functionality of the piece. So you can get away with selling certain brands that are in very high demand and are typically very expensive and are purpose oriented like this, even if they're disgusting like this one was. Really great bread and butter flip, a Carhartt shirt, 21.5 bucks. Got this for pretty cheap, 75% off at a going out of business sale at the thrift store that is now becoming a salon right around the corner from my new apartment. This one thankfully paid off. I paid 10 bucks for this because it was vintage, dead stock or new old stock. There's the tag. It's City Streets, which is a brand I've sold a couple of times. I figured that the aesthetics of this would carry it over the finish line quickly, and we got there, but it took a pretty long time. This one's also teachable. It's a Lululemon polo. It's an active performance type polo with no size tag. There was no size dot. Sometimes if you look underneath the hem, they will print the size. In the stitching, it wasn't there, so I had no idea. And I just said, it looks like an XL to me. I gave the measurements. Someone still paid 30 bucks for it. This one I got for a couple bucks, and I was kind of on the fence about it. But Under Armour stuff has done really well for me, and this was kind of something a little bit different, sold for 18.5 bucks. This, I took these photos before I figured out how to shoot on manual mode on this phone. So the photos don't really do this justice, but it's all over sequin metallic Western shirt, 25 bucks. Should have gotten more. I think I probably should have retaken those photos. Really, really strong sellers. Dahui board shorts are great sellers. And I keep running into this for some reason. This kind of fabric with this square grid, that's ripstop fabric. I finally connected that in my brain. That's what that is called, ripstop. And these board shorts or hybrid walk, board, surf, swim shorts, whatever you want to call them, are just like great bread and butter items if you can find them. And this is the third of those Untucked Henleys that I found, and it sold for full asking price, 20 bucks. Would have lotted it up with those other two, but it was a different size. Here's an old Tommy Bahama polo that I had sitting around forever and ever. Not forever and ever, for a few months. Sold for 13. I have been reprimanded a couple of times for including Tommy Bahama in my overrated brands video. Been reprimanded by people I trust, or not reprimanded, but corrected or contradicted. And I have gone back and bought a few Tommy Bahama pieces just to retest the hypothesis. They're just goddamn sitting there. Other people have great luck selling Tommy Bahama. I don't. I price the stuff dirt cheap and it just sits there, and no one wants my specific Tommy Bahama pieces apparently. So someone finally, after months of waiting, paid me 13. I think I have 4 or 5 other pieces sitting in my store right now that are just yearning for attention. Concert DVDs, music DVDs, that's one of the genres of DVD that I love to look up, because a lot of the times it's worth money. In my previous What Sold video, I had a 30 Seconds to Mars concert DVD that sold for 35 or 36. This sold for 22.5, probably paid 1 or 2 bucks for it. This one sold right away, I think an hour after listing at 30 bucks. Probably could have asked more, totally happy with it. WWE does not produce a lot of these polo shirts, so if you find them, they're in pretty high demand. Nike Pro Combat piece sold for 25 bucks. This is exactly what I always want to find when I want to find Nike Pro Combat, these long sleeve mock necks. I always sell them. Always sell them. These sold the day after I listed them. I was skimming off the top in terms of sourcing. I had the big death pile that is now almost dead. This is one of the things. I found it. I said, there's no way that this doesn't sell immediately, and it did. So I picked it up for, I think, 4 bucks, sold for 22.5, despite having flaws. Pendleton, the wool flannel shirts are what you really want. Be cautious about more contemporary stuff, but these board shorts, thumbs up. So a little bit of lean times right now, but look for shorts. Look for for specifically like performance type shorts from good brands, linen, more summery stuff, because that seems to be selling quite well for me. And I hope that this helps out.